mesdames, les messieurs, présentez le Kak M C SHOW. Et moi, je veux l'anarchie. What the bloody hell's going on this planet?
Been taken over by a bunch of crazies.
Did you see? Have you heard what went on in France the other day? Friday the 13th.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Massacre of just regular people. If you're a terrorist, you wouldn't do that, would you?
No, you'd go after the heads of the state, who are the ones that you're supposed to be having a go at. You wouldn't go after innocent civilians.
It doesn't make any sense.
Didn't you say there was a football match going on as well?
Yeah, Francois Hollande, fantastic. Now, this man's got no emotions whatsoever, has he? Have you ever seen him? Doesn't seem to have any emotions whatsoever. He was at on Friday the 13th, it was a friendly match between Germany and France. And 3 suicide bombers, they had suicide belts on apparently, I've not seen any pictures. And they blew themselves up outside the entrances to this football match. Yeah?
Well, you'd expect to see lots of footage of that, because around these places they've got video footage everywhere, haven't they?
Well, in Paris alone, there's millions of CCTV cameras.
Not as much as in London, though.
They can track you down, right, if you've not paid a parking fine in France, right down to your house. So they'll find out the real perpetrators, won't they?
Of course.
He left the stadium, that's one of the perpetrators.
Well, what did... Oh.
So he left the stadium in a load of dark cars with his security team.
So let me get this right, the football match carried on?
Yeah, it wasn't stopped, no.
Alright.
They let the football match carry on.
But the President of France was whisked away for his safety.
Of course.
And he thought, up yours to the rest of you, if you guy, that's tough.
And everybody else was so scared they ran onto the pitch after the football match and just stayed there, looking in with dismay.
Mind you, I saw a link today on YouTube where the President of France has come out and said that Paris is under attack from the Illuminati.
Look at your history books. Somebody get the history books out and do some research, right? Illuminati. Well, that rings a bell, doesn't it? You know, we did a video.
1776.
Yes. Well, we did a video ages ago going on about the war on Islam, because it's not a war of on terror. Or it's a war of terror, and it's a war on Islam. It goes back to the Knights Templar when they went to they did the Crusades between 1099 and about 1279, and they were slaughtered by the Scarabians, the Arabs now, the Arabian people, and they tried to force their religion on them, and they didn't like it, and they were slaughtered. So they went with their tails between their legs all the way back to Europe. Then they were banking in Paris and London.
I take it, of course, they just let that go then. They haven't carried it on, because obviously there'd be no point, no rational point for that, would there, to carry it on?
Well, you think so, wouldn't you? But strangely enough, back in you can check your history books on this, or maybe Google it. I don't trust Wikipedia, but you can find it in the history books. That there was in 1307. Oh, isn't that strange? There were 7 suicide bombers, and it was on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Well, in 1307, Prince Philippe of France, Prince Philippe IV, decided he was sick of the Knights Templar, and they were committing rape on children. They were taking all the money.
Just like today, then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, same as they're doing today. They're all in Turkey, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, G20 it's called. If anybody wants to know where the real terrorists could possibly or allegedly be, yeah, have a look at their faces. These people don't serve us; they serve themselves, don't they?
Of course.
Or do they? Because it doesn't seem that. All authority seems to be serving itself at the moment. Anyway, 1307, 7 suicide bombers, suicide belts.
And they do
Friday the 13th.
They do a lot of numerology stuff as well, don't they? So that could be a reason as well.
They've never. The Knights Templar, they were. Oh yeah, didn't you work it out? The numerology's all there. I mean, you can work this out. What was going? By the way, who manufactures suicide belts? I wonder if it's General Dynamics.
More than likely.
Of Coventry, which David Cameron's a salesman for, or it might be Lockheed Martin, who did the census, who Obama works for, and did the census which was hacked. It might be them. Or they might be made in India or China. Oh, did you see the Indian Prime Minister come over the other day? He had a slap-up lunch, he was allowed to speak in Parliament. Then the Queen invited him for lunch as well.
Did he ask for his jewel back?
No.
No.
No, the British stole it years ago from India, because of course they were all conquering, weren't they? The empire. And Narendra Modi, I think his name is. This is the Indian Prime Minister. And guess what? And afterwards, they did a concert for him at Wembley.
Oh, that's good.
And David Cameron says to some children, one day there may be a British Indian Prime Minister. Yeah? Well, why do you think the red carpet was laid out for him?
All the blood on their hands.
He gave David Cameron and the British government and probably General Dynamics of Coventry, look them up if you want to, £14 billion for 6 military fighter jets and lots of bombs and guns and tanks.
Oh, well, you see,
14 billion!
Yeah, but you see, the government can...
And the Queen says, thank you so much.
The government can afford it easy enough because they've just sold all those mortgages for 13 billion, haven't they? Strange, there's a lot of 13s going around at the moment.
They're not looking after our interests, are they? And a few days before that, who else was in town in London? They put the red carpet out for Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the president of Egypt. They put the red carpet outside number 10 for him. I guess he'd be buying
guns and bombs.
Somebody's been blowing aeroplanes out of the sky, haven't they, over Egypt, to the Sinai Peninsula.
That just takes the pee, that does.
Well, a couple of days later, I mean, David Cameron looked into it, but Vladimir Putin didn't. And now they're all having lunch today.
Well,
all mates again.
The British Prime Minister actually said it's ISIS. They've planted a bomb on that plane.
Dare you use that word?
Now, yeah, especially in Egypt. Now, it's very strange because the Egyptians who are looking into it and the Russians who are looking into it, they haven't come to that conclusion. But David Cameron has. Even though he's not been allowed to look at any of it, he's decided it's a bomb. Oh, don't forget, in France, of course, there was the passport as well, just like 9/11.
Syrian, was it?
His Syrian passport. Oh my, you couldn't make it up, could you?
So he blew himself apart with all the suicide bombs and belts, and the passport survived.
Oh, it's in prime condition.
French
brand
911.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, enculez-vous. Enculez-moi. Got that.
I don't know.
So, also, the famous jihadi John, who made those fake beheading videos, they reckon they killed him.
Let me guess. They killed him and buried him at sea.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
And then SEAL Team 6, who killed him and buried him at sea,
It doesn't say that in it.
died in a helicopter crash, so there's no way you can check it up. Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else, aren't I?
Yeah. So, have you ever noticed that on Facebook, right, if you say anything bad about women or homosexuals, gays or whatever like that, they remove your account. But if you're in ISIL, ISIS or a terrorist organisation, you can set up as many accounts as you like and they never get removed.
The Israeli Secret Intelligence Service.
Yeah. It's supposed to be Islamic State of Iraq and a sham, but it is quite a sham. Anyway, so if these were jihadists and they were from ISIS, ISIL, I don't like using the word ISIS, it's taken it out of context. Who are ISIL funded by?
The British and Americans and French and...
Washington DC, Obama, Westminster and the Vatican. We've said before, you can look it up for yourself, don't believe a word we say.
It's common knowledge, everybody knows it, it's just nobody's standing up and saying it.
Right, so it's all about money, isn't it?
Yeah, money, control.
Money for bombs, for weapons of mass destruction. And who peddle these weapons of mass destruction? All the politicians that are in Turkey today. Right, so...
All the terrorists.
Yeah, how come you can't arrest them? They're supposed to be our servants. And what are they doing?
Well,
are they murdering innocent people all around the world for their own gain?
I tell you what, this being a servant malarkey is good pay. You know, the head of Nottingham, 140 grand a year.
I couldn't do that job. I couldn't take from the people. It's just awful what they're doing. They don't care. Somebody who walks, as we've said before, not a positive path, doesn't care about you and me or everybody else.
But 3 grand a week.
It's sickening what's going on this planet. So we've, as the Council of Nine, off-world, and some other people who know about this, read Phyllis Schlimmer's The Only Planet of Choice.
Yeah, it's very good.
Right, I'll tell you about Huvid, Ashardians, the Oregons, and the Alteas, who now reincarnate, Alteans, who now reincarnate as dolphins from the previously what we believe to be Atlantis on this planet. And also have a look at the book.
Wait
Oh la la.